Hi there, this is my sermon for the day. It's on the Jewish scripture or the Old Testament reading, Jeremiah 32, 1 to 3, 6 to 15. Have a read of it, come back to the video. We look around the world and see that the world that we've known seems to be falling apart. What do? How do we respond if it seems like the world that we've known is coming to an end? Do we keep our heads down and hope that the crisis just goes away? Do we keep on doing what we've been doing and act as though it's normal? Or do we prepare for what's next? The people of God have experienced the end of one world and the beginning of another world many times. In the reading that we've looked at from Jeremiah, the prophet can see the writing on the wall. He can see that the world, as he knows it, is coming to an end. He's locked up in prison because he won't keep quiet about what he can see coming. I expect the king would have needed to lock him up because he isn't going to be wanting this person going around saying all these negative things when they're in the middle of a crisis, making people panic. And things are very negative. Jeremiah is in prison. The city is under siege. So he's in prison within a prison. But he sees a future when things are going to be good again. And from prison, under siege, he invests in that vision even though he's never going to see it realized. He buys some land from his relative, land that he can't get to, land that's being ruined and neglected because of the war. And he won't get to plant anything there or build a home there or drink wine that was made there, but he buys it in the hope that in the future it'll become a foundation for people to live the good life in the land once again. In the past, the Christian church has faced times of growth and times of crisis, times of favor, times of unpopularity, times of decline, and times of reinvention. In the ancient Christian church under the Roman Empire, Christians were initially persecuted and had to meet privately, often secretly. But the church steadily grew until it got to the point where half of the Roman Empire were Christians, and they suddenly found that they were experiencing favor from their rulers. The government decided to make Christianity the official religion with grand temples, government sponsorship. Outside the Roman Empire, in the Persian Empire to the east, the church was also present in that place, and they were sending Christian missionaries out in further east into China. In China, they met followers of Confucius, and they were in dialogue with followers of Confucius. They established Christian monasteries where they learned to share the gospel using concepts from Chinese philosophy, using the kind of language that Confucius had used, instead of using the Greek and Roman philosophical concepts that were being used under the Roman Empire by Christians. Later on, these Chinese Christian monasteries, they were shut down and suppressed because there was a change in who was in charge. They weren't in favor anymore. So they're shut down and suppressed, but their monuments remained. And on those monuments, the gospel was articulated in Chinese concepts, showing us how Christian faith doesn't have to be contained by European concepts and European thinking. In the Roman Empire, later on, the church faced crisis as well. Roman society was destroyed by invading peoples. The church no longer had the security and the stability that the empire had provided. The church had to retreat from the center of society, but they set up monasteries throughout Europe and North Africa and the Middle East, Christian communities protected by strong walls where local people could come and be cared for and protected, where Christian faith was preserved, and where academic knowledge from past eras was passed on. The church has died and been resurrected in new forms many times. Christian faith has been forgotten and remembered again and again. We should not expect that the church in this land in 100 years will look the same as it does now. But if it seems like the church as we know it is declining, that means we have an opportunity to think about what we'll leave for following generations. What will equip them to follow Jesus in a different world to the ones that we've known? How will we preserve Christian faith so that it can be passed on into the next world, whatever the next world looks like?